Welcome back to Podcast Recovery, everyone. We're your hosts, David O.
I'm not a host. We've been over this mood. Like, I'm the producer.
Well,
like,
when there's not a second,
crazy.
when there's not a second co-host,
Like,
you're a host.
I mean, kind of. Like, I mean, I'm gonna, say my piece and ask my questions, but I'm still the producer.
God damn it!
You know?
Producer / he wears many hats. Eric V. Today we're joined by our very special guest, Alex. How are you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
It's early for you.
Yeah,
Brain's
it's
not
early.
working yet.
I do the midnight.
Chug that full throttle, man.
Wait, you're doing the midnight?
Yeah, I run the midnight, man.
Oh my god, you're like David.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. Yeah. This guy ran the midnight for 2 years over here.
I did. Indeed. So where are you from?
I'm from Ellicott City,
Okay. Where'd you go to high
What
school?
part?
Howard.
Oh, you went to Howard? I went to Oakland.
You went to Oakland Mills,
Yep,
yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Indeed. When were you first introduced to recovery?
Like rehabs or like...
Your first introduction to the scope of
right?
recovery.
Like,
'Cause,
whatever
like-
it is. Like, it could be counseling, IOP, like fellowship,
I
whatever,
mean,
man.
And when I was 17 in 2016, I went to Mount Manor in Baltimore City.
I've been there.
Ooh, Irvington?
Yeah.
Wait,
Wait,
were
what year was
inpatient?
that?
Wait, were you inpatient?
20... Yeah.
You were in that unit? Dude, that unit sucks.
I brought
Yeah.
H&I meetings in there
I
for a
know,
while.
me too. And then I
Oh,
was like,
man.
fuck
Yeah.
these kids.
I might have seen
Yeah.
you.
It was, I mean, I was only there for it was like September 2016 when I was 17. And yeah, that place was...
Oh my God, I definitely was.
You
That was.
definitely shared there.
That was.
probably.
Well, no, that was my H&I commitment at that time.
I hate
So I
it.
might have seen you, dude.
Maybe. I mean, I was only there for like 2.5 weeks.
Okay.
Did you do an AMA? You bailed early or?
I mean, like, it was... Now, they told me I could go. Like, I
You
just,
can
like,
go, dude. You're done. We're done with you.
I just, like, kept freaking out. I was just freaking out. Every time my parents came to visit, I just, like, begged them to take me out. And,
Yeah.
like, after, like, 2.5 weeks, they're finally like, all right, yeah.
Yeah, sending a kid from Ellicott City into Irvington, not cool.
That,
No,
it
a lot
was...
of people, dude, like that Mount
Oh, I
Manor
know.
has a kid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's so
It
weird.
shuffles them in and out. And how long have you been clean, man?
2 years now, man.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just celebrated on the 10th, man. Congratulations.
Got a black key tag.
Hell
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
And with all that out of the way, I'm going to turn it over to you to share your story with us, so take it away.
Okay. Hi, I'm Alex, and I'm an addict.
What's up, dude?
Hi, Alec.
Yeah. Story.
You were born at an early age.
Yeah, I was born when I was right before I turned 1, about a year,
There you go.
and I knew I was an addict from the minute I was born, dude. I knew it.
I just wanted that tit so bad.
But I've been saying a lot about the story part for a little bit. I'm trying to think of like what I haven't said, because there's like a lot. Like, I didn't really tell my story at all for like the first like 2 years. This time around, like the first, like until like recently, and I still don't even really like go about like the story part like before I got clean, because
That's the juice, man. I want to hear that.
yeah. Well, all right. Let's see.
So you're in Ellicott City.
Yeah, Ellicott City, man. I guess like I was really like anti-drug like before I started doing drugs. Like,
What?
yeah, like I was super.
We were good Howard County kids,
I don't
man.
get that vibe from you, bro.
Cause
like,
yeah, I don't know. I was a sports guy. Before, you know.
Okay.
I was like a big like
playing like some lax and like soccer, like.
football and baseball, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
What, were you a
was-
safety? What was your position?
I was a quarterback. man.
Quarterback?
Nice.
Yeah.
Were you a pitcher or?
Yeah, I was a pitcher.
Oh man, so you're like a fucking high school king or
Yeah.
whatever, man.
Well, not like see. I started doing drugs by the time I got into high school.
okay,
so at that point, it was over.
Yeah.
That part was over at that point, because yeah, like that was. I guess you could say that's a pivotal period, like, because yeah, like I remember, because I went to like Ellicott Mills Middle School. I don't know if you know where that is, but
Yep.
pretty much like all my closest friends they were either going to Mount Hebron High School or Centennial High School.
Mm-hmm.
So Howard's in Ellicott City?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have 3 high schools in Ellicott City?
They have, I mean, I don't even...
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
Howard's
just
technically in Columbia.
I mean, Ellicott City
No, it's
is
not.
effing huge.
Really?
Nope, it's on the other side of 108.
Huh, okay.
Yeah, the 108 is the divider. So Thunder Hill is Columbia, but then as soon as you cross over 108, that's Ellicott City.
Oh, well,
Ellicott
shit.
City's huge. I'm just, like, baffled.
Yeah.
Like,
So, yeah, I think it's just 3. I think it's Howard, Centennial, and
Hebron.
Hebron. Yeah, because
Marriottsville's in Marriottsville.
Marriottsville and Marriottsville. Reservoir is in
Maple Lawn.
River Hills in
in Clarksville.
Wild Lake
And then everything
Summerville.
else is in either Columbia or Elkridge.
Trying to think. I feel like I'm still trying to think. Like, I feel like...
They're building a new high school in
Columbia.
Laurel, though. Laurel's going to have a HOCO high school.
Yeah, Jessup, man.
Yeah.
Hanover Hills or something like
Yeah.
that. I don't know.
Yep. Okay, so anyway, back to it.
Yeah. I mean...
You're,
That was
you're
a
an
pivotal-
anti-drugs sports
Yeah.
prodigy.
Yeah, me and my closest friend at the time, who we both ended up being huge addicts. He's not in recovery, but like he's making it work, I guess. I don't know. He's hooked on kratom and whatever.
Okay.
But I don't know. He slowed things down, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Kratom's better than dope, man.
It is better
Yeah.
than dope.
Yep.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Definitely better than dope.
Yeah. Kratom's not going to kill you.
safer than dope.
Way
Yes,
safer.
way safer.
Fentanyl's scary.
But like, yeah, I was like super, because all my friends like would always talk about how they wanted to smoke weed. Like we were like skateboarder dudes. Like,
Oh, yeah.
That's what me and my group of friends, we were like
Yeah.
That's the
skater
vibe
boys.
I'm getting from you, yes.
Weed
Yeah.
and skateboards is peas and carrots, man.
Yeah, exactly. But like I was like super like, yeah, like there was like a video of me and my friend like that we recorded on like an iPod Touch or something as we were walking to 7-Eleven, because that's what we did every day. We just like after school walk to 7-Eleven. And yeah, we were like telling our future selves like, yeah man, don't do drugs, like you can't do drugs are bad, like weed's bad, never do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if like I knew there was some sort of thing that I don't know, it just scared the ever living shit out of me, I guess, like the thought of it, like, and I don't know, like it really like freaked me out. And but yeah, so I was the very last of all my friends to ever like start smoking weed. I remember like when we went to high school, that's when everybody like started, like that became the thing we were doing. And I like wouldn't smoke weed. And I remember my one friend who was like also anti-drug, like he's the one who turned over first. Like he was like, he got like super amped up about it. He was like, yeah, I need to press the button. Like we're going to go over.
I need to press the button.
Yeah. Like, and I was like, oh man, no man, like I'm not going to do it.
Because
like,
it's actually a quick switch, because when you're mentally obsessing about not doing it, it still means that you're mentally obsessing about it. So switching to the other side of that like debate in your head is actually pretty easy because the obsession has already taken hold.
Yeah, man. True that. And yeah, like so I for me, you know, New Year's freshman year of high school was when I first smoked weed, man. And like all my other friends had already been doing it, and like I was just like the last one taking a stand.
Yep.
And I didn't, you know, it was a slow progression, man, for me. Like before, like I'd say I became like a non-functional addict, you know. I mean, it took me like a year of like smoking weed here and there and like partying a lot in high school, because like, yeah, when I went to high school, I mean, I don't know, me and my friends quickly became like a center attraction sort of thing to like all the people in Howard County, and we partied a lot.
Did you enjoy high school?
I enjoyed high school
So did
a
I.
lot, yeah.
So did I.
It was a good time.
Do you remember that? I think it was at Eli's anniversary, that super young kid who was in the back, and he was like, okay, so we all agreed that high school sucks. And then the room just got definite, like just quiet. You could hear crickets. And I was like, dude, you have no idea. It's so much better than paying bills and doing shit.
Yeah, dude, I miss high school. Like when I think about like so many times when I knew I had to get my shit together, I would think about high school. And like, that's why I wouldn't get my shit together, because I was like, yeah, shit's never going to get as good as it was then.
No,
like,
14 to 18.
I'm never going to get that shit
You
back.
have enough wits about you. Some of you have cars. Like, you have a lot of freedom and time and very little responsibilities. You're a borderline adult. It was... And dude, you just fucking partied.
Yeah.
You just fucking partied. So anyway, you guys are the scene kids on at the parties.
Yeah, man. But we weren't douchebags either. Like it was pretty cool. Like, because I took great pride in not being a fucking douche. Like there were like a lot of like we hung out with like a lot of people who were like the it people of their schools, but they were just like your typical fucking
Laxo bros.
Yeah, yep. Like and me and my friends, we were like skater people,
Sperry's and Vineyard Vines, fucking polos. Yep, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and like. Yeah, you know. Like
no offense to anybody out there who likes those things, but also you look like a douche. You look like Don Johnson in the 1980s, and it's not cool. It wasn't cool then.
You don't like Sperry's?
Dude, fuck Sperry's.
You're not going on boats?
We're not getting into this, Eric.
Why aren't you going on a boat, man?
I love boats, but I don't like...
Then you put your fucking Sperry's on
dude,
and get on
fuck
a boat.
You,
dude.
Eric. Fuck you. Rich son of a bitch. All right.
All the Anne Arundel County kids, man. The boat people, man.
Yeah. Hashtag salt life. Fuck you. Anyway.
So yeah, like, yeah, the first year was just like, yeah, it was normal. Yep. It was fun. And I didn't like, but I remember like I started smoking weed by myself, you know, like sophomore year of high school. And I remember like the way, like, I remember picking up on that. Then I was doing that and I was like, yeah, it's fine as long as you don't start smoking weed every day. But I definitely, like, one of the things I liked about it was, like, oh, this I feel intelligent. Like, I feel like I'm able to get some, like, perspective
so much more
here.
Creative.
Because, like, you know, like, I feel like I always, like, I don't know, one of my biggest insecurities was, like, my intelligence and stuff. And, like, one of the biggest ways how I, like, made friends and whatnot was, like, you know, just being a platform, like finding out what they thought was funny and just like being that, you know, and I was very good at that. And, I became a complete, like, just pothead that year. You know, I remember like from like fall and winter transition over to spring, like by spring it was like full time, like, yep. We give up. We're smoking weed every day. Like, this is just what it is, you know? And I remember it definitely changed me. I remember, like, I didn't like how it made me depressed. Like, because I noticed that. It made me a lot conscious of a lot of, like, the horrible things that were going on, like, in my life. And I was very, like, yeah, I didn't like the way that made me feel. But I still... thought that like it made me more like I don't know,
cerebral.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. And so like, and life was still really good. I mean, you know, I started dating this girl, like, and she was like my high school sweetheart or whatever. And I was still very much a party dude, but like, you know, I was a good dude. Like, I remember like I like made out with some girl at a concert when we were just talking, and like it like freaked her the fuck out, and like she like was so upset about it, and I like never cheated on a girl ever again after that, because of like, yeah, how much that like I was like, yeah, this is horrible, you can't ever do that to somebody. And so that's why I stuck by that. So like, yeah, you know, shit got really fucking insane, like you know, my junior year or whatever of high school, because grades were always a thing with me. I got really good grades, like all A's and B's or whatever, but my dad was like, yeah, you need to fucking... He was always telling me how I have, like, the potential to get, like, all A's.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
And, like, and I don't know. You always thought I needed to go on Adderall.
It's the most backhanded compliment ever.
Yeah.
Like, you have potential, so you're telling me I'm failing.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
And
so you said you needed to be on Adderall?
My dad always thought that I had ADHD and I needed to be on Adderall, which, like, you know, if you knew me or saw me anywhere, you were like, no, like, what the fuck? Like, no, not at all. Like, that does not make sense. Because he's always been on Adderall, so, like, I guess he just figured I was like him or something. And yeah, so, like, I remember my friends prescribed it, and, like, I asked to try it one day. I don't know what made me want to try it. I guess, like, I just, like, heard a lot of stuff about how it helped you get schoolwork done faster, and yeah, it worked all right. I never felt anything like that. I was, like, talking to everybody. That was one of the biggest things that I picked up on, is, like, holy shit, like, every day during school, like, I feel like I can't socialize, and, like, I took Adderall, and, like, holy shit, like, I felt like going up and talking to people, and because it was always something I noticed where, like, I was like, during school I don't feel like myself, and when I leave school I feel like myself. And
is Adderall a benzo, Eric?
No, it's an amphetamine.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm sorry.
I hadn't done benzos yet.
I'm sorry.
So
how did you? I'm sorry.
I don't know why I thought it was a benzo. Okay.
No, that was.
I knew it was an upper, but I didn't. I just didn't think it was an amphetamine.
Yeah, I mean, it's like.
And also,
were you taking XR or IR?
What?
I'm asking, were you taking XR or IR?
XR.
XR. Yeah. So, like, the extended release. I mean, that's normal. I mean, it's when you start doing the IRs where it gets, like, definitely a little more crazy.
I just think it's interesting, like, our generation versus your generation, because we're the Ritalin generation.
Well, yeah, I mean,
and I don't think they really prescribe that anymore.
They do prescribe it,
not as much as Adderall.
Yeah, I feel like it's only if your parents, like, are specific about, like, Ritalin, and they're like,
and
he needs to get on Ritalin.
It's like younger kids and older adults, like Concerta and Ritalin.
Okay, so you're
Adderall's for college.
You're doing Adderall. Don't do that. All right, Adderall.
Yeah, Adderall was when it started. I immediately got a prescription because my dad was like, yeah, like, if it works, get a prescription. And, like, so yeah, we went to the psych, family psych person, and that's definitely where all the mistrust with, like, medical professionals started, because, like, my parents talked and looked at this guy like he was, like, such a good psychiatrist. Like, oh yeah, he's so good. And, like, he like prescribed, he immediately prescribed me Adderall. And yeah, after a while, you know, I wasn't sleeping, I wasn't eating, and I was, like, starting to have panic attacks, you know, and I had never experienced panic attacks before, but I started having, like, crazy panic attacks, like, pretty frequently, where I was just, like, stressing the fuck out about my schoolwork. Like, I was, like, writing a paper, and, like, I would be coming down from the Adderall, like, I'd be crashing, and, like, because it was, like, extended release, so like, it would just, like, falter, like,
you're mixing it with weed.
Yeah,
were you a drinker at all?
Not really.
Okay.
Like, I would a little bit. Yeah. But, like, I didn't really care.
Yeah.
You know, I never thought about, like, nothing was ever premeditated with alcohol. And so yeah, I remember my parents, like, had to hold me down one night because I was freaking out, and the doctor told them to give me, like, one of my mom's Klonopins. And I was, like, screaming at them, like, don't give me that shit. Like, you know, I was very, like,
until they put it in your mouth and it dissolved. Or
I definitely, dude.
This is great, dude. I'm sorry.
I definitely knew, like, that it was fucked up. Because I had a friend who had gotten addicted already to, like, Xanax. And, like, I had been in the car with him, driving him around while he'd been, like, withdrawing. Like, and it was,
that's
like,
dangerous.
Yeah, it was hell to watch. Well, not like he was driving, but I was driving.
No, he would not be driving. If he was withdrawing, like, he is in a ball.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, man. And, like, so I knew what it looked like. I knew it was bad. And, like, but, like, the second, like, I felt that shit from the Klonopin, I was like, oh my God, like, everything in my life, I was able to, like, reframe, like, everything that was going on in my life and that I was stressing out about as of late, and be like, oh, okay.
I'm so relaxed now.
Yeah. Oh.
Let's get back to
It's fine, dude. You're tripping, man. Like, it's not a big deal. It's so simple. And, like, yeah, I immediately, like, fell in love with it. I wasn't seeking it out, though, or anything like that.
That's like a fucked up thing. Like, my wife kind of has that same sort of thing, right? Like, her parents just put her on, you know, fucking psych meds. So it's like the Klonopin, the Xanax, like...
I'm kind of glad my parents neglected the shit out of me. They were just like, where's David?
Yeah, dude,
I don't care.
I'm a Purdue statistic over here.
Oh, yeah,
so,
you are. You should get on a class action lawsuit. You should get some money. Dude.
I should get money.
You should get fucking money. Anyway.
Yeah, it took like a while for me to like actually start like, I don't know, I remember like, cause like, yeah, it became a thing where like when I had panic attacks, my parents would just give me Klonopin. Mm-hmm. And
that's crazy.
Then eventually like, yeah, I started seeking it out. I got it prescribed. So here I am prescribed like Adderall and Klonopin. And like, yeah, it was just so not okay.
The cocktail gets bigger.
Yeah, and it hadn't gotten horrible just yet.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like this now here's when I started to do acid.
Here we go.
Yeah, this is like junior year of high school.
Yep.
You know, during winter or something like that.
Warp speed, Mr. Sulu.
Yes, exactly. And yeah, I fucking, you know, fell in love with that right away. Like, and yeah, I remember like the first 2 times were great. But then after that, like, I kept on trying to go on all these ventures, and I treated it as if like I was smoking weed. Like,
whoa.
Like I didn't plan.
Oh man,
I didn't plan out my trips like that. You know, I'd just be like, all right, today sounds like a good day to do acid. Let's do acid.
It's Wednesday.
And like, yeah, and that shit quickly became, because like I got into like increasing my dose and seeing like, oh yeah, let's see what 2 tabs are like. And, and yeah, I quickly saw some dark shit. Like it became super intense.
Wait, are you on Adderall, Klonopin at the same time as you're like taking a bunch of acid?
Well, no, I was like, because the Klonopin was only something I would take when I would have panic attacks.
But you're on the Adderall.
Yeah, I was coming off of the Adderall like daily, like, you know, and it never affected. I never felt anything the first few times I did it, the acid, you know, like because but I would be coming off from it, and I think I like could tell when I wasn't like, you know, feeling it anymore from the Adderall. But yeah, it was lingering, I guess, you know, if you actually think about it.
Oh yeah, it's in your system.
Yeah,
it's in the system.
So yeah, like I immediately started having some horrific trips, like, and I couldn't stop doing it. Like I was like, yeah, like you like, and also in the midst of this, I'm having all these mental health issues, and I got prescribed like every SSRI possible, and like, you know, all throughout this junior year, and you know, did not work.
Oh my god, you're taking acid and
yeah,
like taking, oh my dude,
so much shit, and yeah, like
your brain chemistry, man.
Yeah, man. I don't know, you know, by the end of doing all the acid, I mean, I was doing it like every weekend or like 2 times a week. Ooh. And like by the end of it, like I you know, it took like a whole several months of doing it a bunch of times to like realize, because I kept telling myself like, you just got to end on a good trip and then you can stop. Like, but that never came.
I understand that. Yeah,
that's the good cigarette. I like, you know what I mean? Like, this will be my last cigarette. It's gonna taste so fucking good. Yeah, no, that's not how it works.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
And yeah, that never happened. Eventually, I just fucking stopped. But by this point, I started like taking benzos like way more frequently, because like, yeah, I couldn't enjoy anything else when I wasn't doing it. Like the intensity, I had so many like it fucked my brain up so much doing all the acid. Like,
oh yeah, I
had some horrific experiences on that shit. Whether they were real or not, I had some horrific experiences.
It was real at the time.
I mean, perception is reality.
Yeah. I mean, they were real. There was this one time, I mean, real shit, there was this one time where, like, my mom, like,
you saw lizard people, suicide. Like, oh, God.
Yeah, it was like some real shit that happened. Because like my mom, like it's like a big part of like my home life. I was an only child. And like around when I was like 10 or 11, I mean, she always had epilepsy and mental health issues and stuff, but she like took a dramatic turn when around that age, and she became like bedridden and stuff like that. She got like chronic pancreatitis.
Whoa.
But she wasn't like a drinker or anything. She just like got it. And yeah, she got like, you know, and on top of that, she was like insane. She has borderline personality disorder, and like, you know, they were giving her morphine and all. So you were kind of
a pharmaceutical family.
Yeah, pretty much. And yeah, she you know, she made my life fucking hell. I mean, love her to death, but yeah, like she was absolutely insane and would just like go from like telling me, "Oh, you're the best son ever," to like cussing me out and like hitting me and all this crazy shit like on a regular basis. And yeah, like so one time when I was on acid, she like tried to kill herself.
Oh my god.
And
while you're on acid.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's horrible.
And like I don't know, and another pivotal point in my life was like, yeah, like my girlfriend at the time, we had been dating for like a year or two, and I like, it was like I started to feel like, all right, it's time. Like I want to move on, and like, you know, it just felt like, yeah. And I told her we needed to go on a break or whatever for me to figure some shit out. But yeah, like during this time, and I think mainly it was just because I wanted to like see this other girl or something.
Yeah.
But like that never happened because I was doing so much acid, and like
tale as old as time.
Yeah, I ended up like, yeah, and it's like that shit happened with my mom, and like that day I like called up my girlfriend or whatever, and I was like, yeah, break's over, just pick me up, and like she came and picked me up, and I don't know what the fuck, whether she was just like innocent and like didn't fucking like think about like what was going on. I don't know. She was very like good at compartmentalizing. Like she was like that's just the way she dealt with like any discomfort, where she just was like completely ignored it. And I feel like, you know, she was able to do that pretty effectively while we were together. Like she just truly didn't know that like I was going through all this shit. And yeah, like I don't know, yeah, that we like got back together because of that. And it's like a period of like a thing I can look at and be like, yeah, like that's the point where like you stopped like looking out for myself. Like I stopped, like I put everybody else's needs in front of my own. And that from that point forward, I was like, yeah, like the only thing that matters is like love. Like the only thing that matters beyond life and death is like love and making sure people feel loved and connection and all this shit. And like, so I made it like my mission to like just completely give myself over to everybody in my life, you know? And yeah, I remember, yeah, I guess like junior year ended, I eventually stopped doing acid, and that's when like the benzos came full throttle. Like not only was the prescription with the Klonopin a thing, but yeah, I was like doing like, you know, buying Xanax and stuff, and I kept getting fake Xanax, you know.
Oh, yes.
Not like fentanyl's fake Xanax, but like I kept like getting shit that was like duds, and I was like, yeah, fuck this shit. And I talked to like my good drug dealer, and was like, yeah, man.
Everybody always has the clutch one.
Did you start doing the research chemical benzos?
Oh, that's later. That's later.
That shit's wild, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I went down that path.
I went down that path too. That's like what led me here.
No, it makes sense. I broke off, like, we got like these sugar cubes one time, and like I just broke out in hives.
The Edizolam, man.
Fucking wild. They like, I don't know, some dude in Howard County made it.
Shocker.
So yeah, I'll try to be, like finish finish the fucking story, man. Fear and Loathing.
God damn it.
But like fucking
when White Rabbit peaks, man, throw the radio into the bathtub. They're talking crazy.
Gonza is great.
They're talking crazy. I love that he hits him in the face with a fucking grapefruit.
That scene is so great.
So amazing. Oh, thank you for bringing that up. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Your benzos. Go.
Yeah. So like, yeah, that's when I went to Mount Manor. Like by the end of that summer, my good drug dealer got me like a real like Xanax connection. Mm-hmm. Like I started taking like the real ass pharmaceutical bars like a lot, like every day towards the end of that summer. Like, and yeah, pretty much like, and also during this whole time, so I went to Howard my freshman year, but then transferred to Mount St. Joe my sophomore and junior year.
Oh, so you came to our side of town.
Pinky out.
Yeah. Yeah, so like pretty much like, I like, cause like my uncle who died when I was in middle school, he was gonna like pay for it and stuff for me to go to St. Joe, but he died. So my dad did what he could to like get me to St. Joe for those 2 years. But after those 2 years, I had to transfer back to Howard because we couldn't afford it anymore.
Dude, that fucking sucks.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna be
horrible.
honest. I'm sorry if anybody's listening. Mount St. Joe is a bunch of douchebags.
It is a bunch of douchebags.
It's a bunch of douchebags.
I went to Catonsville, so fuck Mount St. Joe.
Holy
But when I went to
douchebags.
St. Joe, man, I hung out with some cool ass dudes, man. I hung out with like these.
Hey, even
like,
a blind pig finds an acorn, man.
These strange ass like Anne Arundel County kids that
Dude,
were
they're
like,
from all over and they're all rich. Ugh.
Yeah, they were rich.
So many fucking. I have so many Mount St. Joe
it's
interactions.
Okay.
No. Just I have so many bad
up
experiences with people
yeah.
from Mount St. Joe that I don't want to get into it. Okay, so where are you?
I don't know, but like in order for time's sake, I'll try and move on to like the grips of my addiction, So yeah, I went to Mount Manor. That was like, and I missed like, so I had a seizure on the second day of being back at Howard, like in school, and like. I had no idea that shit was going to happen. I guess I kind of did.
Right?
I could tell something was going on, and I could tell, like, that's what was going to happen. I remember going to the nurse's office and being like, yeah, I'm about to have a seizure, and they're like, okay, just sit down. And I'm like, no, I'm, like, literally about to have a seizure.
Now, are we talking about, like, a blackout seizure or, like, grand mal?
Blackout seizure.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Have you ever had a seizure from, like, benzo withdrawal?
I have not. I didn't take them often enough for it. Like it was never like a dependence thing with me.
Yeah, you
like,
have to hit dependence really to.
No, maybe like at most twice a week.
Like at school,
I would get a Zanzibar,
Yeah, man. Like my and they sent me straight to Mount Manor and got out of there immediately. Because like they got rid of all my prescriptions, but my mom still prescribed Valium, and I immediately like took some of her Valium when I got out. Started smoking weed again. It was like no chance I was gonna like actually stop doing drugs. Mm-hmm. But after that, I veered away from like going to hard shit for a while until my friend decided to cop like 1,000 Xanax off the deep web or whatever.
Oh, good.
And have me with him in the car when he went to like pick it up from his PO box or whatever, and like. Oh, no. Left me alone in the car with the bag of thousands of Xanax, and even told me that there was extra in there. So I ended up taking like a handful out of there, and that was my journey back to Xanax. And then then like the local drug dealers had like infinite Xanax, so I became like the plugs bitch and like just getting Xanax, and just infinite. That my whole that year was just a shit show of doing benzos and trying to stop doing benzos and having seizures and like just withdrawal, not withdrawal, begging my parents to give me Valium so I wouldn't have a seizure, and like barely graduated high school. Barely. I had to like start taking Adderall again, like to ace my math final in order to graduate, and I did. And I remember me and my girlfriend broke up because we got into like an argument at like prom or whatever. Also like so my like group of friends kind of ended up dumping me because I got like really fucked up at this like family party they had where everybody was drinking, but like I was also like on, happens. Yeah, I was on like benzos and shit, and like they found that out later on, and so I kind of got like disowned by all my friends. They kicked me out of the senior week house, man.
What?
Yeah,
oh, those dicks.
Yeah, I know, it was fucking ridiculous. And
did you end up going to senior week?
Yeah, I went anyway and stayed with my Mount St. Joe friends.
Yeah, dude.
Sleep on the floor, bro. I don't do whatever, bro. Our house was nice in your shitty First Street apartment anyway.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Staying on the inlet, you Howard turds.
I ended up the first girl I got with during my like Xanax blackout. They also wouldn't sell me enough drugs so I'd be okay the whole senior week. They were like afraid, my plug was afraid to give me more than like 10 or something, so I ended up taking them all in like the first day or two. God damn. And it really sucked. So I spent like all of senior week like withdrawing with like this girl that was just like giving me hand jobs like the whole time. And I was like, all right, well, she likes me even though I'm withdrawing from Xanax. Like, I'll date her.
What?
And, like,
what? Wait, what the fuck is that logic, dude?
That is amazing.
I mean, it was a rebound. I broke up with my girlfriend of 3 years.
Great hand jobs.
Were they good? Were they good hand jobs?
Yeah, they're good.
There you go. That's great. Who doesn't like a good handy?
And I started, because my whole life was different. All my friends weren't my friends anymore because of the whole senior week thing, and
God,
it's like the first
so many
relationships
ruined on senior weeks.
Yeah,
so many.
And
oh god,
yeah. So I was seeing this girl, but eventually, about halfway through the relationship, like a month or two in, I started doing benzos hard again. It was this constant constant of just not doing benzos. And then, as soon as I get the opportunity to do them again, I just go on them
you
hard.
were just going on just these peaks and valleys of just absolutely nuking your brain chemistry, and then I'm not going to do this for a while, which is not good either. Oh my god.
Yeah, and I remember by the end of our relationship, we went away somewhere for a weekend. And I did all the Xanax I had the first day we were there, and by the last day I had a bunch of seizures. And this is I've had 9 Xanax withdrawal seizures. Throughout.
So how old are you at that point?
18.
Oh god.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And that was messed up. And we ended up breaking up. And I went to Howard Community College after high school, but I ended up dropping out of all my classes because I was just withdrawing from benzos all the time.
Yeah.
And then started my conscious degenerate life of living with my parents, smoking weed, and because they didn't give a fuck what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And just completely knowingly destroying my life. And I was we're going to dive into this. And I don't know, it took maybe a year. I remember when I was 19 was when I went back to treatment. I went to Ashley.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I did a bunch of IOPs and stuff in the midst of this.
Oh, no, dude. Yeah.
But I went to inpatient again when I was 19. Went to Ashley. Knew I wanted to get my shit together, but I don't know exactly what I wanted. I just knew I needed to get treatment.
Can I ask you a question about Ashley? What'd you think of the food?
Oh, it's fantastic.
That's great, right?
Yeah, the food is ridiculous. It's amazing food that they have there.
They had steak night every Thursday and shit.
Oh yeah.
Well, just to let you guys know, the food in Howard County Detention Center is terrible.
That sucks.
Really not good.
You should have gone to Ashley.
Damn. I should have.
That should be their tagline.
Ashley's better than jail. Okay, cool.
Continue.
So yeah, that was just I did not the main thing was they wanted me to go to all the shit after
Oh, Del Rey? They were trying to get you to go to Del Rey?
Not Del Rey, but they just wanted me to, like, do some sort of, like, extended care, like, extra house thing. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is bullshit. Like, you're trying to, like, send me to, like, another thing. Like,
they always do that. And they try to send you to Florida. They send people to Florida, like, a fucking lot.
Yeah, I, like, did not. Yeah, I was not with that. I refused that and convinced everybody to, like, not, like, anything to not do that. And
yes.
Yeah, it totally ended up... I remember meeting up with my friends when I got out and smoking weed, and I don't know when I started doing benzos again, but it happened pretty fast, and seizures happened again. I don't really know when they happened, but I just kept having them. Yeah. And, the seizures are fucking traumatizing as shit. Like, that's like...
you can die, dude.
Yeah, like, I always thought I was gonna die, and, like, yeah, I had, that... Like, just, like, the feeling of when it was happening, like, I still have, like, I still take anticonvulsants.
Really?
Yeah, because, like, I'm just, like, terrified of having a seizure. My mom's an epileptic, too. And, like, yeah, like, they even, like, in the beginning...
You were just flamethrowering your brain cells for years.
Dude. Like, medically checked that, though? Like, if you're epileptic, like, beyond...
Well, in order to do that, they want to put you in a machine that, like, flashes a bunch of lights.
To potentially induce a seizure.
Yeah, so it's like, I've been putting that one off as long as I can.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But, because, like, honestly, I feel like early on, too, like, when you're getting clean, like, you can't really know for sure either, like, what's, like, long-lasting.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. But like, definitely, like, health things are, if it is something that's possible. Keep
that on the radar.
Yeah.
That's scary, dude.
Absolutely.
Like, if your mom, like, shit.
Yeah. But, like, I went to Ashley again. It was, like, the 2 times a year discount or whatever, half off the second time.
Really? They have that?
I'm pretty sure they do.
I'm surprised you don't know about that, Eric.
I didn't go back, dude. I went to Seattle. Remember? That was where I went. That was my next treatment center.
And this time I took some suggestions and, like, lived in Bel Air, Maryland, at this Maryland recovery program for, like, 3 or 4 months. And that's when I started going to actual meetings. Well, actually, no. I think before this, I've been to, like, meetings at the Serenity Center. But, like, I didn't think twice about them. Like, but this was the first time I actually, like, went a lot. And, like every day. And, like, started to absorb the shit. And there were AA meetings out in Bel Air. Like, the Man House.
Because there's Ashley.
Yep.
And, yeah, like, again, like, I mean, looking back on it now, like, I think I wanted to stay clean in the beginning, but, like, as long as, like, I didn't have, like, things protecting me from myself, like, drug tests or whatever, like, long-term shit, like, protecting me from myself, like, my brain will work its way into, like, having, like, acting on a reservation.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's what happened. I moved back home again. Because, like, that was always a big thing. I was like, I can't move out of my parents' house because I need to be there to take care of my mom. And, like, that, like, kept me from, like, getting my shit together for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I kind of got my shit together this time. I mean, I relapsed as soon as I got out, but, I don't know how I got my shit together, but for, like, the next year and a half until, like, the pandemic, I, like, was only smoking weed and, like, wasn't doing benzos, and I, like, legitimately felt better, happier, like, started dating people again, and, like, all the signs of, like, someone's life getting better, like, were happening in my life. That's when I started teaching special ed.
What?
And, like, all this stuff. Yeah, like, my friend got me a job, like, teaching special ed for a summer, and then I, like, applied to do it full-time during the school year. And did that, and that's what I still do. I still do that.
That's, like, a weird curveball.
Yeah, I know, right? It was like... I didn't,
That's the universe throwing you a bone, buddy.
Yeah, man, it was cool. And, the pandemic happened. I was dating this girl. She was crazy. She ended up moving in. And because the pandemic happened, like, what else are you going to do? And I was making, like, shit tons of money from unemployment. And by the end of our relationship, like, she was driving me crazy. And I ended up, like, breaking and, like, buying, like, I was like, yeah, you have enough money to do this now. Like, you can be the drug dealer. And, like, I started getting, like, crazy amounts of like Xanax. Sold it for a while. Yeah, like it was crazy, and then like then the research benzos come in.
Scary stuff.
You know, I like started living with this dude that I went to St. Joe with, and just like sleeping on his couch, and like he was on benzo, like the research benzos, and we were just in research benzo heaven together.
Dude, that stuff's crazy though. Like,
yeah,
I did a deep dive into that a few months ago, and it's just there's hundreds of them.
Yeah,
like
there is.
And I was reading about them, like this has like a week-long half-life. Like what the fuck? That's like crazy.
I know.
So how did
clozapam, man?
So how did you finally crash and burn and start your 2 years?
All right. So yeah, like, well, I got my shit together, like, well, not that time around, and went to, like, shit got really, really bad again, where I was taking, like, crazy amounts of benzos, the research benzos. My life is going to shit. And then I went to a detox facility on New Year's 2021. And really wanted to get clean, but the only thing that happened was, like, during the time I was in this IOP, I just didn't have enough of layers of protection, you know, to keep me from myself. So my brain, like, was alone for too long, and it figured out how to, like, act on a reservation to, like, start smoking weed when I got out of that IOP thing. And then a few months after that, I, like, found a way to get research benzos again. And, like, that should happen fast, because, like, when I was, like, working a full-time job, like, teaching and, like, doing that, like, it turned into, like, it didn't matter if I was eating, it didn't matter if I was sleeping. Like, as long as, like, I could sleep for an hour and just wake up and take more benzos and I'll feel wide awake. And, so I was taking, like, you know, 60 milligrams of edazolam a day.
Exactly. What the fuck is that, you know?
It's like, well, the equivalency is pretty much 30 milligrams of Xanax.
Holy shit!
So I was, like, legit taking, like, because, like, I would go to, like, rehab and shit, and, like, people would exaggerate numbers like that all the time. Yeah, but, like, I was legitimately, like, getting these giant, like, bottles of liquid shit, and, like, in a span of 2 months, I went from doing normal amounts to doing, like, 60 milligrams of this shit a day. And, I completely lost my mind towards the end. I had this, like, crazy psychosis type experience thing where I thought all my coworkers were trying to kill me. I thought the world was ending. And this is because I wasn't sleeping or eating and taking crazy high quantities of shit that I had never taken that much of before.
Holy fuck, dude. Like,
and,
man. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's real, dude. It's crazy that I say that, and it's, like, real because, like, you hear people really exaggerate the quantities of, like, their benzo usage all the time, but, like, it really took me to a point, like, towards the end where, like, wow, I was actually doing that exaggerated amount, like, and it was insane.
Well, if you get into those, like, the RCs, I mean, like, that shit is just so fucking wild.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, you can just keep riding it up, dude.
Milligrams, holy fuck.
There's a shit called clonazepam, dude, where you're just blacked out for, like, a day or two. Like, it's, like, insane.
Oh my god.
And
we're happy you're here.
Yeah, real shit.
Dude.
So how did you get clean?
Yeah, well, all right. So I went to after thinking my parents were gonna kill me and all this shit because of a psychosis thing, I decided, like, all right, we'll feel safe in rehab. So I voluntarily went to rehab. So with my psychotic delusions at the time, I thought that my parents were dead. So, like, I started being able to think for myself for once, and I was like, all right, well, you're not dead, so, like, what will we do? And I, like, was like, all right, recovery house, all the things I need to do to protect myself. Buy me enough time, and I started going to meetings every day. Got a sponsor. I knew all the things I needed to do. Yeah. And I just, like, fully surrendered. I was like, yeah, like, the psychosis part scared me. You know, I literally thought I was going to die. Like I was fully convinced and just about accepted that, like, that this one weekend was the end of my life. Mm-hmm. And I didn't die. So, like, yeah, I committed to living. And so I did all the things I knew I had to do to live.
That might be a title, dude. I committed to living.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a good title.
And, like, and literally, like, I just went to meetings and got a sponsor and, like, did all the shit. Like, I had my IOP groups, Glass House or whatever. That was, like, a big part of my life. But like the meetings were like a bigger part, and yeah, like I don't know, I just kept doing that. And you know, one of the biggest things for me was like I always thought like, you know, I was never gonna get my brain power back again. Like I fucked up my brain from chemicals so much, and you know, but this last time I just kind of like just threw all of it out the window and was like, yeah, man, you don't have PTSD, you don't have like any of these like diagnosed conditions, like we're just not gonna think about that shit anymore and go about it as if you don't have them. Because like once I finally started doing that, I was able to truly see what I could and couldn't control about like PTSD, like what was really there, and like what my brain was just anticipating because it was what had been there before. Because like if you have that shit and like are aware of like your triggers and whatnot, you will literally just start to anticipate. You know, it's like you'll never grow from them because like, you know, your brain anticipates like where they were, you know, and you'll never notice the times when they're not there anymore. Because like, yeah, that's just the way that shit works when you're trying to like run your own shit, you know, micromanage your own conditions. And yeah, like I just stayed clean. I don't know. I just stayed clean, man. And like when I didn't have hope that it was gonna get better, like I just kept doing it anyway. I don't know. Like there really wasn't anything to it other than like, yeah, like I am completely surrendered. I'm not calling the shots anymore. Like, you know, like yeah, like I don't want to die. Like, yeah, I just didn't want to die. I wasn't ready to die, and I didn't die. So like, yeah, like I and like there was, you know, probably a lot more thought to it early on, but like I don't know, I'm not there anymore. And like I do know now that like you know, anything that I thought I lost for good, I can gain back in recovery, you know, brain wise or like experience wise, brain chemistry, happiness wise. Like I know it's just gonna take time and working the steps. Because the thing with the steps is like shit, like I'll do that shit and like, you know, it'll just like I'll see something I hadn't seen before, and like if it doesn't actually like get my brain working again, like it at least like allows me to believe that it can. Yeah. And like so one way or another, like it just like brings you back to life. I don't know, like whether it's from like just believing in it or like from like doing whether it's like from like healing from the actual like work you do in the steps, like shit you learn or whatever, or spiritual growth. I don't know. It just works. Like, yeah it just works. Like, because like there's just like many ways like it can work. Whether it's like, like it doesn't have to be spiritual. It's like a mental, physical, what do they say? It's like mentally,
mind, body, and spirit, man.
Mental, physical, and spiritual like condition or whatever. Like being an addict. So it's like either mentally, it can find a way to get you better mentally. It can find a way to get you better physically. It can find a way to get you better spiritually. You know, like it doesn't need like all of those things in order to like start getting better. It can just be one of those things to like, you know, get you started. Like physical, I guess, is like the main thing because like
I'm not having seizures anymore.
Yeah, like literally, like that's all. It's like all you need is one of those things. Like, and I don't know if like hearing that is what like some people need to like get better. I mean, I know I needed like tangible evidence, you know, in order to like take a step. Because like that's some shit I just don't need anymore. Like, and when I'm trying to like, you know, give a message to other people, like I'm always trying to think about it that way, like, oh, what did I need to hear? Like, but yeah, like sometimes there really just isn't anything to say. I mean, like, you know, it sucks hearing all the cliches and shit, but like once you've done the step work, it's like, that's like the best possible way to like describe the actual like
they make sense, they're just annoying.
And sometimes it feels really dumb. I mean, like I'm starting to like see you know, the addiction in other people that, like, you know, for instance, like, for years, I was just, like, using, like, the most traumatic events in my life as, like, a reason as to, like, why I couldn't get better. Like, oh, like this is why, like, I need to use drugs. Like, because, like, this horrible shit happened to me and I can't unsee it. And, like, you know, and I would just throw that shit out conveniently. And I had no idea because, like, all I could think about was the pain from that.
Yep.
And, like, I still see people go through that shit all the time. You know, like, where, like, they're just, like, not at all aware of, like, the fact that, like, it's literally just, like, trying to find a reason. It's because there's not the surrender isn't there.
Yep.
And they've started the process of, like, surrender or whatever, but they're just kind of like, you know, the addiction, the disease hasn't given up, man. It's like finding whatever angle it can, you know, and oftentimes the most common angle, I think, is taking, like, real life traumatic events, like usually types of, like, injustice.
Oh, dude, trauma is huge.
Yeah, like, and, like, it sucks because, like, you can't really debate it, and, like, you know, your brain knows that. Like,
no, because it's all subjective to the individual. Like, nitpicking and trying to quantify levels of trauma from individual to individual, it's a losing game for both people. There's either there's minimalization or you know, overblowing, and it's just ridiculous.
So,
all right, man. Well, we definitely have some questions for you, and I'm going to defer to Eric because I think he has some spectacular questions.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of asked a lot of them. Like,
do you want me to go?
Boring.
I can go.
But go ahead. You go first, Dave.
All right. I'm going to start with a fun question because that was heavy, man.
Yeah.
I love you, but like, that's fucking crazy. I haven't heard that much. You are a very big cinephile, as both of us are as well.
Oh, yeah.
You got to pick a favorite movie.
A favorite movie?
Yeah, do top 5.
I could do genres, like...
Okay, give me 3. Give me 3? Give me 3 movies that are just, you know, I can watch these and they're always great. Not necessarily greatest movies. Favorite movies.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Interesting.
Good.
Yeah.
Solid.
I don't know. I was just talking about that yesterday. So
Beetlejuice is a solid answer,
but,
man.
like, I feel like I could watch that, like, whenever.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yes.
I don't know. I used to say, like, David Lynch type stuff, but I've kind of gotten sick of the Lynch shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's like... Yeah, sometimes it feels like too weird for the sake of being weird. Like, it's not like...
What the fuck is Twin Peaks Season 3?
It's just...
that shit, man.
Complexity just for the sake of complexity. It loses it. It loses
By
itself.
the way, I don't know if I told you guys, but I literally got to go to the Real Life Double R Diner a few weeks ago. Like, the Real Life Double R Diner, and I saw the waterfall.
Dude, have you talked to Donnie about that?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, I texted him.
Okay. Because, I mean, he'll lose his
Donnie
shit,
creamed
dude.
in his pants, I'm sure.
Yeah, I bet he's like, have you watched the 4.5-hour documentary?
Twin Peaks?
Yeah, they talked to me about that.
Did they talk to you?
Do they play Rush in Twin Peaks? Oh my god.
Oh, man.
Okay, so Beetlejuice, what else you got?
I feel like I gotta say a Cronenberg movie.
Okay,
Really?
okay.
Because, like, Cronenberg's definitely, like, one of my fucking
Cronenberg's
favorites.
fantastic.
Like, he's awesome.
You like the body horror?
Yeah.
Definitely. Like, I feel like it's just so, like, I don't know. It's like a very specific...
He's very
like,
one of a kind.
I do like when Morty turned everyone.
I love the Evil Dead movies, too. Like, I feel like it kind of crosses over into it.
Gotta
like,
get...
I recently started to see
so
that
you have 2 more. We have Beetlejuice, what else?
Evil Dead.
Shit, man. I know. That's,
Just whatever jumps out.
What's, like, my favorite fucking Cronenberg movie? I don't know. Like... like, what the hell is
The Fly?
I mean, The Fly's great, but, like, that's, like, too classic-y. I'll say, you know, James Woods, man. You know, fucking the James Woods one.
Oh, Videodrome?
Yeah, Videodrome.
Videodrome's fantastic.
Videodrome,
yeah, we talked about Videodrome. Great movie.
Man.
Great movie. And number 3?
Number 3, let's see. Fucking, I don't know. I really like Wes Anderson movies. Like, they're fun as
Oh,
shit.
yeah. Yep.
I'll say just Bottle Rocket just for now. I mean, like, there's
okay.
You're going Bottle Rocket.
Because, like, of just the fucking scene where, like, they're just, like, arguing in the end. Like, when they're, like, fucking robbing, like... I mean, I would probably go, like, I mean, like, in terms of, like, actual best, you know, movie.
Best Wes Anderson movie.
Best Wes Anderson movie? That's a tough question.
I love The Life Aquatic, dude.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, that's such an underrated one, man.
Life Aquatic is so good.
I do like that C. George is playing, like, Bowie in the background.
Yes.
Sway Jorge.
Yeah, we'll go with that one, man, just because the soundtrack, like, completes
It's so
it, man.
good. It's so good.
And Bill Murray, just, like, that character that he plays in every single Wes Anderson movie. Like,
yes. That I think is the pinnacle of it.
I think I like Murray the best in Rushmore, though.
Yeah.
I don't know why. The Tenenbaums, too, like, those were weird movies.
Tenenbaums is so dry.
I liked Fantastic Mr. Fox a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Really?
I'm so upset that I haven't
Really?
seen it.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
I know it's good.
worth it.
Oh, I know
trust
it's
me.
good. Yeah. Dude,
It's definitely worth it, though. Like, it's like an individual experience.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
it's
I'm sure.
Definitely.
Dude, Wes Anderson is great.
George Clooney,
Yeah.
like, Jason Schwartzman's character in that movie is hilarious.
Oh, my God,
Like,
yeah.
it's like the son.
Yeah, man.
I also fucking love Coen Brothers movies.
Oh, Coen Brothers are great. Yep.
Yeah, like I love like I mean The Big Lebowski. Oh yeah, I should have said The Big Lebowski.
Oh,
Like, that
Lebowski's
was-
solid.
What about Barton?
Oh, Barton Fink is
Yeah,
great. Man.
Fargo is amazing.
Yeah, Fargo. One of the
Fargo's
ones that like
amazing.
I've loved more than anything too, is the fucking gangster one that they made. I'm trying to remember what the fuck it's called.
Oh, fuck.
Gangster one? No, not Fargo?
Not like it was made in like 1993. Gabriel Byrne.
Logan.
It's not the usual suspects.
No,
It's
No,
not
that's not Coen
the
Brothers.
Hudsucker Proxy.
not that. It's the
No.
one that he made before that.
It's not Raising Arizona. Barton Fink was before that.
Yeah.
Miller's Crossing?
Yeah, Miller's Crossing.
Mm,
That movie's so fucking good.
okay.
That's one of their first movies.
I'm going to have to give
Yeah.
that another watch.
Yeah, I love that movie.
All right. Well, we've digressed. What do you got, Eric? Now that my fun
Now I'm
question's
in
out
like
of the way.
movies, like, but yeah, dude. Oh man. God, benzos.
Yeah.
Like, I think they might be like. I mean, yeah, you're always like fentanyl and carfentanil and all that shit, but like,
Please ask me shit
Benzos
about
are
benzos. 'Cause
scary.
I've beaten that shit to death, dude. I've talked so much about that shit, like, nonstop for the past few years before and after getting clean. Like, I don't even know. I feel like I finally got it out of my system where, like, I don't even know what to say about them anymore. Like,
it's just wild that like.
How are I understand they have therapeutic or medicinal,
There's definitely medicinal value, yeah.
but also, like, the side effects.
It's really bad for you.
yeah.
Like, so I guess.
Dude, they killed my cousin. That's what my cousin OD'd on. Was fucking.
Oh, he like wasn't he also taking like methadone or
I don't think so.
No, okay. My friend, one of my best friends, died from methadone and Xanax.
Oh god. Yeah, because they interact with so many things.
Yeah, they're bad news bears, but
I was always very careful about mixing it with anything. Like, I would never mix my benzos with opiates or anything like that.
well, that's smart.
Yeah.
But I mean, what are you doing to kind of get your, because you're doing the mental stuff, right, with recovery.
Yeah.
But like, there's a physical part to this too when you take that much
Oh,
drugs.
yeah.
So what are you doing to kind of get back to where you were before?
I mean, I guess just fucking... The biggest part of that is just not acting on, like, giving up. Like, because, like, I like, not isolating, not fucking, like acting... Like, I have to keep acting as if it's, like, not there. Like, because, like... It to me, it's, like, the only way to make it better. Is because, like, it's literally just time and, like, doing things and brain exercise. Like, it's like... And I do have, like, some serious, like, neck and, like, back problems from, like, all the seizures I had. Like, I always wake up every day with, like, neck pain and stuff like that. And, like...
Have you seen a chiropractor?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
Yeah, I have. And, like...
My chiropractor's fantastic.
I got x-rays and everything. Like,
Okay.
apparently everything's structurally sound. But yeah, I think there's some pinched nerve or something, or like I have no idea.
Well, you also have acid in your spinal fluid, so don't forget that.
Dude, true that, man. But yeah, I don't know. I just know, like, the more I think about it, the more it becomes like a weapon against myself, like the physical stuff, like the damage I've done. Like, I do have like moments where like that's what gets me really down, like, and I lose hope. But like it's counterproductive, like. Yeah. And like, you know, all like the amount I think of it, like there's nothing I could do to make it go away entirely. And like, yeah, it's like horrible that like there's not really like an answer for that. You know, that was like my biggest reason why, like, you know, I couldn't get better. Like, or I said I couldn't get better was because like of that, and like there being like seemingly no answer to like all like the damage that shit does to you. Mm-hmm. Like there's all this like energy and attention and like knowledge about like opiates and stuff like that, but it really doesn't seem like there's much about
benzos are very new.
Because like when I would that was like a thing in like detoxes and treatment places where like they would fuck up my shit, like, and I would like have a seizure in the rehab, and I would try to tell them like, yeah, like this isn't right, like I shouldn't come off it this soon. Like it was definitely like there was like so much negligence. You know, because of the way like it is with opiates, like it's so common for people.
Dude, we've been dealing with opiates for hundreds of years.
And like if you work in a treatment facility, you're so used to like people coming up to you like complaining about withdrawals and stuff like that. Yeah. And like they're like, shit, like, you know, just push it out, man. Like, just, you know, it's gonna be hard, and like just
literally fucking, you're able to shit now. Go push it out.
Yeah. And like but like, yeah, like it's not the same as opiates, like,
no,
because like, yeah, that was something for me. I was literally fearing that I was gonna die from the seizures. Yeah, you know, regularly.
Well, it's benzos and alcohol. They say are the most lethal of the come downs for withdrawals. Yes, yes.
Oh. Yeah, man, alcohol withdrawal, like.
God, I've seen alcohol, like I've never really seen benzo withdrawal that much, just because like I wasn't around.
It wasn't around as much when we were
no
kids.
Like I honestly I didn't know the whole not mixing like I would snort a
you shouldn't snort benzos,
dude. I would snort a Xanax with an Oxy together. It was recklessly stupid. Yeah. But I didn't know. Like, I wasn't like you, Eric. Like, Eric, like, he researched shit. I didn't research a goddamn thing. Because the less I knew, the better. Because I was like, if I don't know what this, fuck it.
No.
I knew about heroin. Well, because, dude, when I know too much, then my conscience will talk me out of it. And I was like, I don't fucking care. I hate myself.
Right?
Yeah, but I was like, I hate myself. I don't care what this is going to do. Huh. But I knew what heroin was going to do, so I was like, I'm going to like it, and I'm going to die.
I think with that, I just, like, I think the one belief that, like, changes stuff like that for me is, like, you know, I know somewhere in my brain I believe that there's, like, a way to do anything, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and, like...
Good and bad.
Yeah, like, so, like, that's why I would do my due diligence on, like, knowing everything there is to know about, like, what I'm doing and shit.
Which is smart using.
I believe, I guess I believe that, like, there was never a point where I needed to say fuck it, you know? There is always, like... I
said fuck it.
Yeah.
That was my story, was fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck it and burn it down. Fuck it and burn it down. That was my shit. All right.
I think we're...
What?
Where are we at?
I can ask one more question.
All right.
One more question. All right. It's got to be a good one. All right. You are young in recovery, man. You're 24?
24.
24, so you got clean at 22, which is fucking awesome. This is going to be a combo question, but we'll see how we can do with it. How has it been comparing in? Because you actually, like, we were actually just talking about this right before you came. Like, there's actually a good crop of young people in the area right now, which is awesome.
Yeah.
It hasn't been like that since we all came in.
So, has it been difficult? Because, I mean, I'm a decade older than you, dude. Like, my...
And we came in almost a decade.
Yeah, I came in at 10 years, 8...
No, we did come in over
9 years before you,
we're fucking old, dude.
Yeah. So, like, how has it been, like, comparing in? Because a lot of people are older than you. How grateful are you to be young in recovery? And what are your goals for your life and your recovery? That was a lot.
Yeah, no, I mean...
So, comparing in, gratitude,
I feel
and
like
goals.
I feel like comparing in is something, like, I don't really do. I can just get kind of, like, irritated sometimes because, like, people, like... think they need to talk to me differently because of how young I am compared to them.
Fuck those people.
Yeah, like,
I don't do that, do I?
No, you don't.
Okay.
No, you don't.
I was like, I don't think I do.
No, it's the old timers problem.
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't even know, like, people who, like, feel like they need to differentiate in order to feel like they've grown or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and, like, yeah, that shit just can be annoying because, like, it puts me in the mode where I feel like I have to, like, explain myself again, like, why, you know, and, yeah, like, it's annoying, and it plays into, like, my, like, cynical outlook of, like, you know, nitpicking, like, psychologically analyzing people, and, like, you know, just like
who's who in recovery, blah blah blah.
Yeah, like, you know, but as far as, like, you know, a universal, like, comparing in, like, that's something I probably could do, but I don't do it all anymore because, like, there's just a lot of shit. There's a lot of shit that like I just stopped doing, and, like, I don't think I get any satisfaction from, like, doing it, but it's definitely, like, a total, like, yeah, I just block it out. Like,
because you just know in your heart that you belong here.
Yeah, like, it's like, if I thought about it at all...
That's a way better way to go about it.
Yeah, if I thought about it at all, I would start, like, comparing and stuff like that, but, like, yeah, I definitely, like, being able...
That's probably the best answer I've ever heard.
Blocking it all out is, like, kind of the only way to just not do it.
Yeah, that's just staying in your own lane. Yeah.
And I know, like, it's something I'll feel great about, like, later.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree.
And, like, most of my recovery, it's shit I'm going to feel good about later.
Mm-hmm. So what about the gratitude for your youth in recovery?
Like, yeah. You know, yeah. Because it is
and the reason I asked that, because, I mean, I was 25, Eric was right around the same age, so we were right around the same time.
I was 24.
But, like, Hoppy and Herb, and Jack, like, they're in their 30s, 40s, whatever. They're like, man, I wish I had gotten young at your age.
Yeah.
They're like, gotten recovery when I was young. So, like, what do you think about that?
I don't know if it's something I can, like, fathom. Like, I don't know if it's something, like, at least right now, it's not really something I can, like, it's just too much for my brain to take in. Like, you know, I need to, like, be me, and, like, I think, like, when I try it like that, like, I already do enough of trying to put myself in other people's positions, you know, in order to, like, empathize or whatever. And I feel like that's, like, something I definitely, like, I don't know, it only hurts me to do that.
Yeah.
Like, at least with, like, the tools I have right now. So, like, yeah. I mean, I definitely am great. I know I'm grateful, like I say I'm grateful, and I know I'll feel more grateful about it later on. Yeah. But, like, as of right now, it's like, yeah, I feel like there's not really any positive way to, like, go about it in my own head for me with that stuff. Like, that won't just, like, turn into, like, that's, like, something my disease or addiction could take a hold of easily and, like, manipulate and turn into something that I could use against myself, you know?
Yeah. And now you're
I don't know how my brain knows what pathways like my shit will take in order to do that. Like, but, like, yeah, like, that's, like, another one where I just don't think about it. Like, I block it out in order to, like, for my own benefit. And, like, I don't know how my brain just, like, can figure out, like, what things, like, I need to block out in order to, like, not, like, add more weaponry to, like, hurt myself with. Yeah. But, like, yeah, it just does, man. I don't know. It's cool.
And then the final part, your goals in life and recovery.
I don't know. I mean, my big thing in the beginning was I wanted to do something with music. Like, I wanted to actually be able to pursue music, but I don't know if that's what I want to do anymore because of the fucking douchebag Steve, man, who tried to fucking, like...
Oh, yeah.
He just, you know...
Steve?
Steve H?
Like, fucking...
Yep.
That asshole?
Yep.
He's still around?
We'll talk about that in a minute.
That's the dude I'm thinking about, right? Like
100%. Absolutely. You are right on. Yes.
I have a virus that is going to be with me forever.
Oh my God.
And it starts with an H. It's like, Steve, fuck you. You don't have HIV. You have herpes, you fucking asshole. Okay? What the fuck is this bullshit? Fuck you, dude.
Yep.
Yeah. You know, when I was there, like, because it's like a recovery, his thing is like a recovery center for artists or whatever, and like
he has a recovery center for.
We'll talk about it later.
We're going to talk about it off air.
Yeah.
So your goals and so it wasn't. It's not music. What
I
is
mean, I guess some like, and it's just to like be happy and like live the life that like I don't know, all the things that like I wonder and hope for, like, you know, like. In terms of like people just being able to experience that true harmony again, you know, I guess like being able to find a career that like that doesn't make me want to kill myself, or I earn a good amount of money.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I don't know, man. Because like the music thing, I was pretty dead set on the music thing for a while. Mm-hmm. But I saw it like wreck other people. You know? Like,
dude, it's hard to be recovery. Like, I mean, I relapsed in Chicago when I went to do music.
Just, like, that's what kept happening to me over and over and over again.
Because you're in that life, right? And it's like you gotta stay up late because that's when everyone else is fucking doing this shit. It's just not normal.
Yeah, there's no 9 a.m. fucking concerts.
I mean, like, it would be like this every single time. I would like make music. Like, I would like record. Like, I would get out of treatment, like make a few songs, and then like run out of creative juices, and like know that like just fucking relapse on benzos, and you'll come up with some more shit like just like that. Like, I would hit a creative block. Like everybody hits a creative block at some point.
Yeah.
And like I just couldn't take it, and like I kept relapsing. And like because of that.
All right.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, we would like to thank our guest Alex for joining us today.
Yay!
Yeah.
1 quick minute. What do you have to say to anybody who needs to hear a message of strength, hope, or just whatever? What do you have to say directly to them? Short and sweet.
What was the thing I said earlier? Like
committed to living.
Committed to living, man. I don't know, like, just fucking, like, choose life, you know? Choose life, like, like, I don't know. We don't get to choose whether or not we live or die, you know? We like, you know, no matter how badly I wanted to die, like, I couldn't die, you know? So, like, if you're using because you think, like, you're inevitably just gonna die, like... I don't know if you thought about getting clean, if you thought about stopping, like,
give it a shot, man.
Yeah, like I don't know, man. All right, cool. Yeah. I'm all messaged out, dude. The past like week, you know, I've been celebrating. Yeah, exactly. I've been on the tour.
Well, you're tapped out.
Yeah,
all right.
Oh, you're about to celebrate. Come share our meeting, man.
Yeah, you're on the circuit. All right. Well, here at Podcast Recovery, we're aiming to expand the scope of support for recovering addicts. Accessibility and convenience of helpful services is paramount to combating addiction. We work to bring the message of recovery to every addict, wherever and whenever it is needed. We believe that a powerful voice of recovery should be obtainable, practical, and at the touch of a button. Every addict deserves to hear a message of hope, and Podcast Recovery is here to provide it. All right, everybody, thanks for joining us once again. Go to all our social media outlets, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. For more information about us, go to podcastrecovery.com. Please join our Patreon and help keep the mics on because we are self-supporting. Most importantly, everybody out there, Eric, if you'll help me.
Stay safe and stay clean.